Hello angels, studying for GRE, UPSC, Bank PO, Defense, CAT, TOEFL, IELTS, CLAT or SSC? Yeah, I know that feeling. These vocabulary lists can feel never ending. I've been there too. And I've been sitting with flashcards and wondering, how am I going to remember all of this? Welcome to the A to Z vocabulary series on ChetChat, where we've done the heavy lifting for you. Today we're going to nail the top 25 high-scoring Q and R words with their meanings, examples, and memory hacks that you'll actually remember. Wait! Before we jump in, I have some exciting news to share with you. We've just launched the top-tier business communication course. And honestly, it's exactly what I wish I had when I was starting out. Think of it as your personal guide on how to network with confidence, pitch your ideas to a VC, handle tough situations at work, speak up and own your space. Now, as a member, you're going to get exclusive videos, easy cheat sheets, ready-to-use scripts, and live sessions with me. So you're never going to figure this out alone. And the best part, it costs less than a cup of coffee. If you're ready to level up your confidence, just tap that join button and I can't wait to meet you inside. Now, let's master the 25 Q and R power words together. Our first word is rupture. Now, imagine I have this balloon and it suddenly bursts. That is rupture. Rupture means to burst or break open, like a sudden and complete break. Memory hack. The secret code is always in the root. Rupt means to break. It's the same root for disrupt and a volcano erupts. Same, okay? So a rupture is a serious break. A break in a relationship, in an agreement, or even in your body, like a ruptured appendix. Example, think of a pipe that freezes in the winter and then ruptures. There's a sudden split and water goes everywhere. Synonyms of rupture are burst, split, breach, and sever. Antonyms are mend, heal, repair, and unite. Word number 2 is recluse. Sometimes when I'm just sitting with a cup of tea and the doorbell rings, I feel like hiding in my room with a blanket over my head, pretending that I'm not at home. That is me being a recluse. And tell me if this happens to you as well. A recluse is a person who lives a solitary life and they avoid the company of others. Example, after retiring, the famous actor Rajinikanth has become a recluse, rarely giving interviews or appearing in public. Synonyms of recluse are hermit, solitary, and loner. Antonyms are socialite, extrovert, and gadabout. Our next word is redundant. If your friend says, "I'm going to the ATM machine," you reply, "It's an ATM, not an ATM machine." Saying ATM machine is redundant because the M is already there in machine. Just like in PIN number, it's redundant to say PIN number because the N in PIN already stands for number. Or saying free gift, no, gift is always free, isn't it? So redundant means unnecessary because it's more than what is needed or you're repeating something that's already said or done. After the company installed new software, his job became redundant or he was let go, which means he was no longer needed. He was extra. Try this. Can you spot the redundancy in these phrases? Past history, end result, advance warning, or final outcome? Leave me a comment if you know more such phrases. Synonyms of redundant are unnecessary, superfluous, excessive, and repetitious. Antonyms are essential, necessary, concise, and succinct. Our next word is recant. Recently, I was watching this show Severance on OTT. Maybe you've seen it. It had a slow start, and I turned it off after 20 minutes saying, "This is so boring." And my friends convinced me that I have to finish it after a few episodes. And then when I actually watched the first few episodes, I was like, I recant all my negative comments. That show was quite neat. So recant means to take back something you said. to formally say that you no longer believe in a previous opinion. Think of recanting like the Control Z or the undo button for your words. But in real life, it's when you make a bold statement and you get completely proven wrong and you have to publicly Control Z your words, or under pressure the witness recanted their testimony. That's recant. Quick quiz. What is the difference between recant and retract? They're very similar. Retract is often used for physical things or for formal statements, like the cat can retract its claws. Synonyms of recant are retract, withdraw, take back, and disavow. Antonyms are reaffirm, affirm, assert, and maintain. Our next word is repudiate. Let's say you have a messy public breakup and your ex is telling mutual friends a twisted version of events that paints you as a villain. Now you tell your friends, whatever he's telling you is a lie. I repudiate his entire narrative about our breakup. So repudiate means to reject something or someone completely and publicly, to refuse to accept or to be associated with them. Memory hack. Imagine you had an official block button for ideas or people. You're not just ignoring them, you're publicly declaring, I do not accept this does not belong to my life. You are repudiating them. The company, for example, was forced to repudiate the racist statements made by its former CEO. Quick quiz, what is the difference between recant and repudiate? Now, recant means to take back your own stuff, and repudiate means to reject other people's stuff. Synonyms of repudiate are reject, disavow, renounce, and deny. Antonyms are embrace, adopt, affirm, and acknowledge. The next word is rescind. Now imagine this. After a terrible day at work, you angrily type an email that says, I quit, and you hit send. The next morning, after calming down, you desperately call HR and ask, is there any way to rescind my resignation email? Rescind means to take back a law, an offer, or a decision officially, to revoke it, to cancel it. Now, rescinding is like the store's return policy for your words or promises. You say something, but then you realize there's a defect, a mistake, or a new problem, and you officially take it back, no questions asked. The university rescinded her admission after discovering that they had falsified their application. Or, my parents rescinded my driving privileges after I jumped a signal. Synonyms of rescind are revoke, repeal, cancel, and withdraw. Antonyms are uphold, confirm, enforce, and enact. Our next word is reticent. Picture this. Your friend knows who has a crush on you, but no matter how much you beg, they remain reticent, refusing to reveal the name. So reticent means unwilling to speak about your thoughts or feelings, being reserved or being quiet. A reticent person is not just quiet. They're specifically holding back their true thoughts. Okay? Example, in a team meeting, when the manager asks for feedback on a new policy, everyone is reticent, afraid to be the first one to speak up. Synonyms of reticent are reserved, taciturn, tight-lipped, and uncommunicative. Antonyms are talkative, loquacious, garrulous, and forthcoming. Next word is rampant. Last week in the office, one person sneezed. The next day, 3 people are sneezing. And the day after that, half the office is coughing, sniffling, and looking miserable. The flu is rampant in the office. Rampant is used for something bad which is spreading uncontrollably and wildly, like widespread. Imagine a nasty weed rampant in your garden. It's climbing over everything unchecked and out of control. Memory hack. Rampant is like that viral TikTok trend, dosa, idli, chutney. How many of you tried that? Okay, everyone all of a sudden was doing that, even like your grandma, chutney. It's spreading fast and everywhere, and you can't seem to escape it. It's rampant. Corruption was rampant in the government, or a false rumor that school is cancelling finals spreads like wildfire. It's rampant by lunchtime and every student is talking about it as if it's a fact. Quick quiz, what's the difference between prevalent, ubiquitous and rampant? Prevalent means common or widespread. Now smartphones are prevalent. It's a neutral word. Ubiquitous means seems to be everywhere. Like McDonald's is ubiquitous. I see it everywhere. Again, a neutral word. Rampant is always negative and it means uncontrolled. Synonyms of rampant are uncontrolled, unrestrained, widespread and epidemic. Antonyms are controlled, checked, restrained and limited. Word number 9 is rife. Now imagine that you leave a few drops of honey on the counter at night, kitchen counter at night, and by the morning, the kitchen is rife with ants. Rife means that something undesirable is widespread and common in a particular place or situation. It's similar to rampant. If a place is rife with something, it means it's absolutely full of it. Like the comments under a controversial video are rife with hate and anger. Quick quiz. Now, what is the difference between rampant and rife? The difference is very subtle, but on ChetChat's A to Z vocabulary series, we're all about the subtle differences. Rampant means it's spreading wildly and uncontrollably. Rife means it is full of bad stuff. So there's a difference. It's full of and it's spreading. Synonyms of rife are full of, teeming and rampant. Antonyms are devoid of, lacking, free from and scarce. And before we move to word number 10, I would like to give a quick shout out to Dylan Shorts, who sent this sweet message to us. Sending you lots of love and gratitude, Dylan. And if you too want a shout out in our next video, leave me a comment below and don't forget the hashtag ChetChatters. Our next word is RANCOR. Have you noticed that when fans of two rival soccer teams can't even sit together in the stadium without fighting? The rancor between the two is very deep. Rancor is a deep-seated bitterness, spite, or long-lasting resentment. Rancor is like a tea bag that you've left in the cup for hours. It started as a simple disagreement, a hot water, but over time it's become incredibly bitter and undrinkable. Memory hack. This is a powerful word for a powerful feeling. It comes from Latin rancare, which means to be rotten or stink. Think of old spoilt milk. Rancor is like that. It's a feeling that has been held onto for so long that it's turned sour and poisonous. Example, your grandmother still holds rancor against her neighbor because of a property dispute from 40 years ago. He still felt great rancor towards his childhood bully even 20 years later. Synonyms of rancor are bitterness, spite, malice, and animosity. Antonyms are goodwill, harmony, forgiveness, and friendliness. Our next word is RAZE. Now, imagine you're playing a video game and a city building game, and you get so frustrated with your layout that you use the Clear All tool to raze your entire city and start over. So raze means to completely destroy a building, a town, a structure to the ground. Imagine taking a giant spatula and scraping a building right off the face of the earth until it's flat. That's raze. And don't confuse it with raze because they are actually totally opposites. Example, the city razed the entire city block to make way for a new park. Or before planting a new crop, a farmer will sometimes raze the old leftover stalks and plants to the ground to prepare the field. Synonyms of raze are demolish, flatten, level, and destroy. Antonyms are build, construct, raise, and erect. Our next word is relegate. So when I bought a new smartphone, the old one just got relegated to being just a music player for the shower. Relegate means to assign someone or something to an inferior or less important position. Think of a sports team. It performs so badly that it gets sent away from the Premier League to a lower one. That's relegation. Memory hack. Relegating something is like being moved from the starting lineup in a basketball game to the very last seat on the bench. You're still on the team, but your importance has drastically dropped. Example, after his poor performance, the star player was relegated to the bench. Or, that boring chore was relegated to the bottom of my to-do list. Quick quiz. What is the difference between delegate and relegate? Now, delegate is to assign a task or responsibility to someone, like my boss delegated the report to me. This is about giving work. It's not about making it inferior. Relegate is to make something or move something into an inferior position. Synonyms of relegate are demote, downgrade, banish and exile. Antonyms are promote, upgrade, advance and elevate. Our next word is recalcitrant. So sometimes I call Simbi to have her food and she refuses to come. And when I go to pick her up, she will run and hide under the table. Recalcitrant little one. Does anyone here have a Shih Tzu? Drop me a comment below. Recalcitrant means stubbornly refusing to obey rules or authority, uncooperative in a defiant way. Memory hack. Think of a recalcitrant person like a car stuck in reverse. No matter how hard you press the accelerator of logic or authority, they just keep moving backwards, refusing to move forward. The recalcitrant toddler refused to put on their shoes. Or the recalcitrant employee was finally fired for ignoring company policies. Synonyms of recalcitrant are stubborn, defiant, unruly and obstinate. Antonyms are compliant, obedient, cooperative and amenable. Our next word is reverberate. Reverberate means to echo or resound in, like having continuous and widespread effects. You've heard of reverb in music, that feeling when you're singing in a large empty hall and it's like an echo, you keep hearing it again, reverb. That's what reverberate is. Memory hack. Reverberate is like throwing a stone into a calm pond. The initial splash is the event, but the ripples that spread to the very edges are reverberations, the continuing effect of some action. Like the slam of the door reverberated throughout the entire house. Or the economic crisis reverberated across the global markets. Synonyms of reverberate are echo, resound, resonate and ring. Antonyms are die out, fade, dissipate and mute. Our next word is rhetoric. Now imagine you meet a startup founder and you ask them what they do. They give you a beautiful rhetoric about, I'm changing the world, but they don't actually tell you what they really do. So rhetoric is language which is designed to persuade, but it has a negative connotation of being empty or deceptive. It means all talk and no action. Memory hack. Rhetoric is like a fancy wrapper on a mediocre candy bar. It looks impressive and makes big promises, but when you unwrap it, there might be nothing great inside. Example, the company's environmental rhetoric didn't match their polluting practices. Synonyms of rhetoric are oratory, persuasion and bombast. Antonyms are substance, action, reality and truth. Our next word is rationale. When children don't sleep on time at night, what do their parents do? They try to explain their rationale by saying, the rationale for your early bedtime is that growing bodies need more sleep than adults. So, rationale means the logic, the underlying reason. Example, your friend explains the rationale behind their new diet. I'm cutting out sugar not just to lose weight, but to stabilize my energy levels throughout the day. Or, Google Maps gives you the rationale for a longer route. That they say, even though this route is 2 kilometers longer, it avoids 20 minutes of traffic, making it faster. So they're giving you the rationale. Synonyms of rationale are reasoning, logic, basis and justification. Antonyms are nonsense, irrationality and whim. And now for our must-know high-frequency Q words. Our first Q word is query. At the end of a job interview, the interviewer asks, do you have any queries for us? A query is a question. To ask a question or to express a doubt can be a query. Query can be both a noun, like to have a query, and verb, like I would like to query that. Example, the student had a query about the homework deadline, or the database query returned 150 results. Synonyms of query are question, inquiry, and interrogation. Antonyms are answer, response, and acceptance. Our next word is quixotic. Now imagine your friend describing their dating standards. I'm waiting for someone who writes poetry, speaks 5 languages, is a Nobel Prize winner, and owns a pet llama. You say, that's a wonderfully quixotic quest, but maybe you can lower your expectations a little. Quixotic means like extremely idealistic, romantic, or impractical. Chasing dreams that are wonderfully noble but hopeless and impossible. Memory hack. A quixotic goal is like trying to build a sand castle that can withstand the incoming tide. Now your vision is beautiful, and your effort also might be heroic, but the laws of reality are against you. Example, an artist's quixotic project is to paint a mural so beautiful it would end all war. That's a noble goal, but good luck. Trying to get everyone on the internet to be nice to each other is a quixotic endeavor. Synonyms of quixotic are idealistic, impractical, unreal, and utopian. Antonyms are realistic, practical, pragmatic, and sensible. Our next word is quagmire. Imagine walking into a soft, wet patch of mud and you sink, it sinks under your feet like a bog. In Hindi, we call it a daldal. That's a quagmire. A quagmire is literally a soft, boggy area of land, but it's used to describe a complex, difficult, or dangerous situation that is hard to escape from. Like trying to walk through waist-deep wet cement, just like that. Every step is a struggle, and the more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Example, recently I had taken on a simple office renovation, but every time we dug, we discovered mold and then faulty wiring and then leakages, and months later, I feel like this renovation has become a complete quagmire. Every fix reveals 3 new problems. Or trying to plan a wedding where 2 sides of the family hate each other becomes a quagmire of offended feelings and impossible compromises. Synonyms of quagmire are mess, predicament, morass, and imbroglio. Antonyms are solution, resolution, clear path, and solid ground. Our next word is quell. I remember as a kid when my sister and I would fight over who would get which dress or which bracelet. Mom would invariably bring out some ice cream or gulab jamuns to quell our arguments. Quell means to put an end to something, to suppress or quieten it. Quelling something is like using a fire extinguisher on a small fire before it becomes a wildfire. It's an immediate, decisive action to stop something from spreading or growing. Example, I remember once in the office, people were panicking. I heard they're firing half the department. That is when I had to literally stand on a chair and tell them, everyone, please, I need to quell these rumors right now. No one is being fired. We are actually hiring. Synonyms of quell are suppress, crush, squash, and extinguish. Antonyms are incite, provoke, fuel, encourage, and inflame. Our next word is quibble. Now go back to your term project where everyone is rushing to finish the actual content, but one team member quibbles about the font choice in the presentation. Now quibble means to argue or complain about small, unimportant details, like a minor objection or a criticism. It's like measuring a beautiful sunset with a ruler to complain it's half an inch too far to the left. You're missing the big picture for meaningless details. Memory hack. Think of a quibble as the sound of small, peevish arguments. Quibble, quibble, quibble. Like the chattering of squirrels fighting over a nut. Let's not quibble over a few dollars. I'll pay the difference. Or, he quibbled about every single line in the contract. Quick quiz. What is the difference between argue and quibble? Argue can be about serious matters, but quibble is usually about small, unimportant details. Synonyms of quibble are nitpick, cavil, carp, and niggle. Antonyms are agree, concede, and approve. Our next word is quintessential. Pulling an all-nighter with pizza and coffee to finish a paper is the quintessential college student experience. How many of you have done this? Quintessential means something that represents the most perfect or typical example or the pure essence of something. Memory hack, the word has a very interesting backstory. So people used to believe that there are 4 classic elements: earth, air, fire, and water. But there was a 5th element, the quintessence, that was purer and more perfect than all the others. Quint means 5, as in triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets. So quintessential means the 5th essence, the most perfect example. He was the quintessential gentleman, always holding doors and speaking kindly. Synonyms of quintessential are ultimate, classic, definitive, and archetypal. Antonyms are atypical, unusual, aberrant, and unconventional. Our next word is quandary. Imagine you have one free Saturday and 3 equally appealing options: a friend's birthday, a once-in-a-lifetime concert, and much needed rest. Now you're in a quandary. Which one would you choose? I might choose to rest, like a recluse. Quandary is a state of uncertainty or perplexity about what to do in a difficult situation. Imagine your friend calls you and says, "I'm in such a quandary. A job A pays more, but I hate the work. Job B is my dream job, but it pays less. What should I do?" Quick quiz. What is the difference between dilemma and quandary? Dilemma is a choice between 2 bad options, and quandary is a hard to make or difficult choice. Synonyms of quandary are dilemma, predicament, pickle, and confusion. Antonyms are certainty, clarity, resolution, and decisiveness. Word number 24 is quotidian. So this is what my morning routine usually looks like. Wake up, have a cup of warm water with ghee, go for a walk, play with Simbi, have breakfast, black coffee, and check some video edits. What is your morning routine like? Quotidian means occurring every day, ordinary or commonplace. It's like the white rice of your diet, the dal chawal. It's what you have every single day. Reliable and necessary, but not very exciting compared to the biryani of special occasions. She found beauty in the quotidian tasks of gardening and cooking. Quick quiz. What is the difference between quotidian and mundane? Quotidian is like a daily routine. It's a schedule. Mundane necessarily means dull and tedious. It's an opinion. Like, I find it very boring and mundane. Synonyms of quotidian are everyday, routine, ordinary, and commonplace. Antonyms are extraordinary, unusual, remarkable, and exceptional. And our final word is quantify. My tracker quantifies everything. Like, I walked 8,542 steps. I burnt 420 calories and slept 7 hours, 23 minutes. Quantify means to express or measure the quantity, the amount, or the scope of something, and it makes that something measurable. Instead of saying, "I will follow a healthy lifestyle," you quantify it. I will exercise 30 minutes daily and eat 5 servings of vegetables. That's quantify. Synonyms of quantify are measure, calculate, count, and compute. Antonyms are qualify, describe, and estimate vaguely. Okay, remarkable. Drop me your suggestions, and I hope you're following our entire series, because I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Happy learning!